Hey guys, how's it going? In this video, we're going to discuss how to invest your money in altcoins using the techniques and strategies applied by successful venture capitalists of Silicon Valley. As many of you know, I lived in Silicon Valley and I was in the industry for a while. So I learned a lot. I also went to Stanford and I want to transmit that information to you so you can potentially use that to have successful investments in altcoins. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, guys, so here's the thing. Investors in Silicon Valley are known for earning or getting really huge returns on their money. And at the same time, they are known for taking the biggest risks. So as opposed to a traditional investor who would go to the stock exchange and use previous information to gauge whether an investment is good or not, investors in Silicon Valley do the same thing as we do when investing in altcoins. They kind of have some information, and depending on that information, they invest their money. So let's go and explore. I have a little PowerPoint presentation for you. I know PowerPoint presentations are not all the rage these days, but they are useful. So let's go and use that. Okay, so here we are. This is how to apply those successful strategies to invest in altcoins. Now, here's one important thing. We need to know where we're going. So once we know that, we know what's the best path to get there. The goal, and this is the goal of venture capitalists in Silicon Valley, is to maximize returns. And usually there's a parameter. We're looking for at least a 10x return. So if you go, like when I was in Silicon Valley, if you go there and propose a project that will return 20, 30, 50% a year, that's not really interesting to them. And if you are in the altcoin space or in the Bitcoin space, I'm sure you're looking for higher returns. So 10x sounds tasty to everyone, right? It does sound tasty to investors in Silicon Valley, and it does sound tasty for us. Not always we will get that return, and we will discuss how to compensate for that. But here's the thing. We want 10x returns. If it's 100x, even better. But we need to take reasonable, measured risks. So it's not aping in like, the subreddits. We are not looking to do that. Sometimes that could be good, but just aping in altcoins will not be a safe investment. And there's not always the concept of a safe investment in the crypto space is not real. Before we go further, guys, I want to remind you, I'm not a financial advisor. So take all of this with a grain of salt. I'm just trying to convey the experiences I had and what I learned from Stanford and the industry in Silicon Valley. And how I have been applying that to my investments in altcoins. With that said, let's go further. So now we have our goal, right? We know what we want to do and how. So it's taking reasonable measured risks. And if with that we can get a 10x return or more, then we're safe, we're fine. So let's go to this one. The first point of this strategy is you have to make sure that your altcoin solves a real problem. Now, we're not talking about shitcoins, all right? If we are investing in shitcoins, I have another strategy for that. And if you are interested in that, you will find the information on my strategy to invest in shitcoins up on that side of the screen. Now, let's go back to the presentation. So we are discussing about how to invest in altcoins, not shitcoins. So if your altcoin, and here's the difference, guys. In altcoins, I invest a lot more money than I would invest in shitcoins. As you know, guys, when I am investing in shitcoins, I usually don't spend more or don't invest more than a Starbucks coffee and a sandwich. So that's around $10. Sometimes I will invest a little bit more, but in altcoins, I'm looking to make more money, invest more money, and get more money in return. So it's important to choose the right altcoins. So if your altcoin is solving a real problem, then the potential of that altcoin existing for a long time and returning money is higher. So there's a lot of altcoins that are trying to solve the same problems that 100 more altcoins. So that's not the best choice. A real problem is a problem that has not been solved yet, or not been solved in a perfect way, or in a way that makes a lot of sense. So going back to Silicon Valley, if you're trying to solve something like pollution, right, there hasn't been a really good solution for solving pollution, and that rhymes. So Tesla is kind of doing that, but it's, some people say that batteries are pollutants. So if someone were to find a way, and I know it's being worked on, batteries that don't pollute, and then you can harvest or harness the energy, clean energy, then that would solve a real problem. That would be a game changer. And that's what Silicon Valley investors are looking for, game changers, not copies of solutions. So that takes us back to, like, for example, there are 100,000 copies, and I'm exaggerating, but there's dozens at least of copies of PancakeSwap or of SushiSwap. By itself, SushiSwap is a copy of Uniswap. So let's say the first or second iteration of a problem solver is good. Once we get into the number 20 or number 100, that's not a really interesting altcoin to invest in, because they are not solving something that hasn't been tried to be solved before. So that takes us to the next. So first, make sure your altcoin solves a real problem. When I speak of the altcoins I have taken a look at, I will make sure of that. And that's why I always start my altcoin videos with that, with the problem that a certain altcoin is trying to solve. Let's get to the next point. Is the team behind your altcoin effective? And this is really important, because and here's another Silicon Valley thing, the execution of a plan is the most important thing, because there are really a huge amount of plans trying to solve certain problems. But if the team is not good enough, or the team is not appropriate, matching correctly the skills to what they're trying to do within the company, that's no good. So the best altcoins, or the ones that have more potential, the teams behind them, one, they are not anonymous, right? Because if they are anonymous, then how do you know they are effective? Plus, then there's the security thing, right? If they are anonymous, they can rug pull and take your money away. So I will always take a look at who is behind the team. There's a really easy way to do that. You can go to LinkedIn, and the best projects have a team behind them. And by team, I don't only mean the executive team. I don't only mean the CEO and the CFO and the CTO. I mean also the people surrounding them, the board of directors. If there is already a team of investors, of VCs behind a project, and that also include altcoins, then they can bring something to the table. So here's another trick of Silicon Valley. Once a VC sees another VC is already investing in a project, they will try to jump in the project, because they know they have done their due diligence. So they will want to take part of that. So once you see that a project has good backing by VCs, then that is a good sign, because they made their homework to make sure that this is a good team and this is a good problem being solved. So part of that team, just to sum up, is just the people who are executing the plan, but part of the team is the advisors. And by advisors, I also mean the team of people already investing in a project. So the other thing is, have an exit plan. Never invest in anything without an exit plan. And this is also one of those rules of the thumb in Silicon Valley. So let's say if you are investing in stocks, you want to make sure you know when you're going to be selling those stocks. So traditionally, that is when companies go to IPO in the stock exchange. In altcoins, if you invest really early, then you will be waiting for an ICO, an initial coin offering. But if that has already happened, then you need to make sure when you're going to be exiting. Are you waiting for the price to go up? By how much? Do you have technical analysis to make sense of the price you're expecting? So you need to have an exit plan. I usually discuss this in my videos. And if you have not looked at the previous video where I discussed Bunny, then you will find it also in that side. There you go, in that side of the screen. You will see that I have an exit plan, and that exit plan is based on the price of Bunny. In the case of a lesser or smaller altcoin, then you need to make sure you know why and when you are going to be selling. So that's another one. Let's go to the next one. Try to get in as early as possible. So though, if you want to maximize the returns, you want to be there before the ICO, right, guys? So, and there's plenty of opportunities of getting in before the ICO or at the ICO moment. So, oftentimes we will find a lot of shitcoins existing before having an initial coin offering. And if they are shitcoins, I wouldn't be waiting for that because that's probably not going to happen. But if you are lucky enough or connected enough to find a project with a good team, solving a good problem, and happening before an ICO, an initial coin offering, then you are in for a treat. If not, if you're already, if the ICO already happened, then you need to try to be early, buying the coin as early as possible. And not the moment it sells in the public markets, because that's when the price spikes. But if you know a coin that already has been had an ICO, wait a few days until the price goes down. Now, there are websites where you can participate in initial coin offerings or initial IDOs, which are basically the same, or IFOs. Actually, I just participated in an IFO on PancakeSwap today, and I made a 5x return. The problem was that I could only invest I was only allocated around $20. So I made $80, and that's fine. I mean, that's going to buy me a good amount of things for the day. So ICOs are hard to get in, and I'm going to make another video discussing that, because that's the best way to 10x or potentially 100x or even a 1000x. And on that video, I'm going to discuss a couple of projects that have 1000x. Just to try to sum this up, I participated in another ICO where my money is locked for a year. I purchased the coins, and not that many were allocated to me, but same thing. I purchased them, if I remember well, at 50 cents. The token right now is selling for $25. So that's a lot of X. But we're going to make a video on ICOs further down the line. So the thing is, try to get before the ICO. If not, try to get in the ICO. And if that doesn't happen, try to get at a really low price point in the coin. So we recently had a big sell-off in every altcoin, including Bitcoin. That was a good price point. And remember, go back to my Bonnie video, because there is a good chance that it will mini X. So that's a good price point, right? And the last one, don't put all your eggs in one basket. What does this mean? It's really simple. I mean, you probably already know that. We don't want to invest. If you have $1,000 or $100,000 or $100 to invest in altcoins, don't just buy one altcoin, even though it's the best altcoin, the one that has a lot more potential. You never know what's going to happen in the market. It could be, I was told this one time in Silicon Valley, actually. An investor came and asked me, who is your partner, your business partner? And back then I didn't have one. And he told me, what if you die tomorrow? And I actually had a laugh because I wasn't expecting to die. But an investor who's going to put a lot of money into something wants to make sure that the project will survive. The CEO dying, or the CEO just deciding not to continue working on that project. So that's why it takes us back to the team. But it also takes us here. Don't put all your eggs in one basket or in the same basket. You want to make sure that you're investing money in different coins. And here's another one of those big strategies of Silicon Valley venture capitalists. They invest, let's say, in 10 projects, hoping that or expecting 9 of them to go bust, but one of them making them so many X that it will eventually compensate not only for all of those that went bust, but make them a ridiculous amount of money from their investment. So this is a good strategy to take, guys. And I discussed this in my shitcoin investment strategy, but this is also true for altcoins. So imagine you're going to be investing, let's say right now, Matic, even though every other altcoin went down, Matic went up. So if you had invested in Matic, that being one of your 10 altcoins, then you will be earning a lot of money right now, even though the others are down right now. The same true is for investing in stocks, in options, in everything. So while everything goes down, if one of those goes up, then you can take profits on that one and wait for the other ones to come up again. In altcoins, sometimes they will go bust, they will die, they will stop developing, and that is especially true during the crypto winter, right? So make sure that whatever you are investing in has a longer lifespan, and that means shitcoins are not your main source of investment because they will be done by the developers once the money dries up. For an opposite example is Bitcoin. So when everything dries up, money will still stay in Bitcoin, right? People holding Bitcoin will still be holding Bitcoin, which keeps the value of that altcoin. So there is a number of YouTubers that I like and I follow, and one of them, his name is George, right? This is a good YouTuber to follow too. He says invest 50% in Bitcoin because that's the lead altcoin, and then he distributes the rest in other smaller caps. I think he has a 25%. I usually follow that. Sometimes I do have 50% of my investment in Bitcoin. I do love BNB. I think that is as strong as Bitcoin. It has potential, a lot more potential than Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin, if it goes to $100,000, it will 2x, but Bitcoin probably will 3x. So those are more stable ones. And then I invest in a number of mid caps and smaller caps, as you know, Cake, Bunny, and other ones. So don't put all your eggs in one basket is one of those important rules of Silicon Valley. Expect many of them to go bust, or at least not to grow, but one of them at least will probably 10x, 100x. So that's another important rule. Let's go back to the presentation. I think we're almost done. So rule number 6, always keep an eye on your investments. And this is something I always tell you in my videos, guys. If you buy an altcoin, expecting it to 2x or 10x, make sure you follow up on the price all the time, because it could happen while you are sleeping, or it could happen while you're eating, or while you're at the restroom. And it has happened to me. All of those 3 variants have happened to me. And so set up alarms. There's, if you have Trust Wallet, you can set up alarms on that. You can do that in TradingView. And if you're sleeping, I don't like my sleep being interrupted. But if I have a ton of money invested, I will have alarms for that. That's one way to keep an eye on investments. There are other ways, and I have a video for you for discussing about that, which will also be in that site. I'm learning how to point because it's a mirror image from my camera. But in that site, I'm going to put a link to another video where I teach you how to keep track of your investment in an easy way. So guys, that's it for today. I hope this video was useful. This strategy, this Silicon Valley venture capitalist strategy, has been really useful to me. I have been able to make returns both in the bull trends and in the downtrend with this. And also, if you found this information useful, don't forget to like this video. And if you want to learn how to properly invest during the bull trends and the downtrends, do subscribe to this channel. See you next time. Bye-bye.